Okay, I'm gonna do a quick lab just to show how to set up SSH. But on the basics, here's what I've done. I've set up inside of our NetLab Plus. I've set up a lab that has a single PC, 192.168.12.10, going to a router R1, which has its gig 001 set to 192.168.12.1. The basic setup for doing SSH is to set the domain name, create the local user. I actually forgot 1.5 in here. Let me put my 1.5. I forgot to generate my RSA keys. Generate RSA keys. Was that to do that? So I'll need to do that. Then I create my local user, set VTY line to accept SSH. You can optionally set the SSH version from 1, 2, or 3, depending on what the iOS supports. And then you connect with the app. So I'm going to show all 3 of these. So let's go to our router here, and I've just done a basic setup on this. So if you go show IP int brief, you'll see that the only thing it's really got is single IP address on that gig 001. I'm going to global config. I'm going to set the domain name, IP domain name, Cisco.com. I'm just going to do class.com, actually class.com. This is important because, by the way, sometimes it's domain dash name, sometimes it's domain space name, depending on the iOS version. But this particular, the domain name is used as part of the seed for the crypto key. Then I'm going to generate my crypto key. So crypto key generate RSA. I'm just going to use a 1024 key. Higher is obviously better, but if you get too high, you can actually lock your system up as it's generating the key. Found that out the hard way. Now we've got a key. I'm going to create my local user. So username, admin, password. I'm just going to use our normal passwords we use in the Cisco world. So Cisco. And then I'm going to go into my line VTY. So line VTY 0 through 4. Remember, on a router, it's 0 through 4. On switches, it's 0 through 15. And then I'm going to do transport input SSH to allow only SSH into my VTY lines. And then I'm going to do login local, which will now cause this. Anybody trying to log into the VTY lines has to use the local database. Now, there's ways to do AAA authentication to attack us on a radius server. Way beyond what I'm trying to do here. I'm just showing basic SSH configuration. Now, at this point, if I wanted to, I could also do IP SSH, and you can set your version number. Okay, so you can do versions 1, 2. In this particular set, the iOS only supports 1 and 2. Another thing I want to show you real quickly here is do show ver. In order to be able to generate crypto keys, you have to have a K9 image or an image that supports the cryptographic features. You will see this is a K9 image, so it will work. If you do not have a K9 image, then this will not generate a crypto key. You will not be able to do that. So just be aware of that. If you have no K9 image, it will not generate the crypto keys for you. So at this point, I can actually just do write. I'm going to go back over in my topology to my PC. You'll see my IP address is 192.168.12.10. I'm actually going to, let's make this actual size so it's a little bit clearer. So actual size. I'm going to first ping 192.168.12.1 because if you can't ping it, you're not going to be able to SSH to it. Now, it is possible if you have ACLs blocking ICMP that you could not be able to ping it and be able to get SSH to it. But for most labs and things, you'll be able to ping what you're going to SSH to. So I test connectivity just to make sure it's there. I'm then going to go to my SSH app that we use, which is just basically PuTTY. So I'm going to get PuTTY here. And I'm going to say I'm going to SSH to 192.168.12.1, the IP address of the router. Click open. It'll ask me, do I want to download the key? So in other words, I'm now downloading the public key from the router that we generated in step 1.5. So I'll say yes. It asked me to log in, admin. Password was Cisco. And you'll notice I'm now in the router. Set enable secret. IP int brief. Okay. Show run. I'll show you the commands we put in here. So basically we set our domain name here. We created our user account here. And then under our VTY line, we set it up to use login local and transport input SSH. And we use our cryptographic functions to generate the key. So this was a very simple example of setting up SSH from a host into a router. It works exactly the same with a switch, Cisco switches. So I hope this is helpful, and have a good day.